Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching the Today I Found Out YouTube channel, and in today's video, 10 amazing facts. Number 1. On February the 10th, 1355 in Oxford, England, Walter Springhuse and Roger de Chesterfield, two students at Oxford University, got in an argument with tavern owner John Croydon over the quality of the drinks he was serving. In the end, the drinks were thrown in the face of Croydon, after which the two students attacked him. Soon the fight spread, with local townspeople on one side and Oxford students on the other, including the students assaulting the mayor of Oxford, John de Bereford. The riot lasted 2 days, leaving 63 students and about 30 locals dead and many more injured. For the next 470 years, the mayor of Oxford and its councillors had to march through the streets of Oxford on February the 10th each year with bare heads, as well as give 1 penny annually for each of the students killed. This finally ended in 1825, when the mayor refused to do the penance. Number 2. In 1916, a proposed amendment to the US Constitution was that any time the US wanted to commit an act of war, it should have to be voted on by US citizens. Further, if you voted yes, you would then be obliged to join the US Army as a volunteer. In 1936, a similar amendment was proposed, this time just trying to make it so any time the nation's elected leaders felt the US should go to war, a national vote would be held to determine this. Number 3. In 1893, an amendment was proposed to the US Constitution trying to get the United States of America renamed the United States of Earth. Number 4. Victor Lustig was a con artist who managed to sell the Eiffel Tower to a scrap metal dealer and get away with it. He used forged government documents combined with newspaper articles lamenting how expensive the tower was for the city to maintain. With the first sale, he was not only paid for the Eiffel Tower, but also managed to get a bribe by the contractor who wanted his bid to be chosen. He then fled Paris, only to return a month later when the winning contractor, André Poisden, didn't report the matter to the police because of the embarrassment it would have brought. Lustig then tried to sell the tower again, this time though the winning bidder double-checked with the authorities before paying, ultimately finding out it was a scam. However, Lustig was able to flee before he could be arrested. He was ultimately captured in America and charged with unrelated crimes after he was turned in by his girlfriend, Billy May, who had found out he was sleeping with another woman. Hell hath no fury and all of that. He died of pneumonia in Alcatraz in 1947 while serving a 20-year prison sentence. Number 5. On September the 17th, 1951, 22-year-old Herbert Pillau found himself fighting for his life against the North Korean army on what would become known as Heartbreak Ridge. His squad was tasked with covering a retreat. When it was time, Pillau ultimately volunteered to cover the retreat of his squad, telling his commanding officer to go on without him. US soldiers watching from far above then witnessed Pillau first exhausting his ammunition, then expending all his hand grenades, at which point, rather than retreat, he began throwing rocks at the advancing North Korean soldiers. Once the enemy soldiers reached him, he pulled out his trench knife and leapt upon them, stabbing with one arm and punching with the other. The next day, US soldiers found Pillau's body and the body of 40 North Korean soldiers he managed to kill before he was stabbed to death. For his actions, Pillau became the first Hawaiian to be awarded the Medal of Honor. Number 6. On July the 1st, 2010, Finland became the first nation in the world to make internet access a legal right for its citizens, requiring at that time that internet access providers make available for purchase a minimum of 1 megabit per second connection within 2 kilometers of every Finnish citizen. No small feat considering there are certain very remote regions of the country. Their original plan was to increase this to 100 megabits per second by 2015, something that supposedly is close to happening. However, Finnish citizens are required to pay for the last step lines to their door, which in extreme remote regions may mean paying for the full 2 kilometers of the last leg of the line. So many in such regions just go with slower cellular connections instead. Number 7. At Yale New Haven Hospital, economist Keith Chen and psychologist Laurie Stanos taught capuchin monkeys to use money. Among other fascinating results from this study was an interesting incident where one monkey managed to steal an entire tray of money tokens and fling them into the main cage that housed all the monkeys before it could be caught. The monkeys then all scrambled for the coins, with the temporary surplus of money allowing for expenditures beyond food and the fact that monkeys had no concept of saving, one of the monkeys decided to pay another monkey for sex. Since that exchange, steps were taken to assure the monkeys would no longer be able to pay one another for sexual acts. Number 8. When the pyramids of Giza were originally built, the outer part of the pyramids were made from smooth, highly polished Tura limestone. This was white and was meant to reflect the sun. As for what happened to those white stones, many were taken and used in other projects, some of which still stand today, such as a few mosques in Cairo. Time and environmental conditions took care of most of the rest. Number 9. Contrary to popular belief, it is no longer thought that the pyramids of Giza were built by slaves. Archaeological evidence shows that the builders were extremely well taken care of, including the highest quality of healthcare available at the time, and they ate every bit as good as the pharaohs themselves. They also seemed to be organized in groups of laborers that would rotate out regularly. These and other hints from the past, relatively recently discovered, seem to indicate that the laborers were there of their own volition and were well compensated for their work. Number 10. In 1887, it was made illegal in Canada to attempt to try to get a woman under 21 years old to have sex with you by promising you would marry her if she did. Punishments for this crime included imprisonment and whipping. So I really hope you found those 10 amazing facts interesting. If you did, please give us a like below, it really helps out. And do subscribe to our channel for brand new videos just like this, very regularly, 5 videos in the week, and then the amazing facts videos on the weekend. There's a subscribe button on the screen now. Also, there's a couple of other amazing facts videos linked to the right of me now, so check those out. Links in the description for you to click on if you're on a mobile device. And thank you very much for watching.